Hey YouTube, Chevy Dad 83. So, coffee can forge. I was pretty pleased with the coffee can forge for the most part. Pretty simple. Punched a couple holes, threw some bolts through it, give it some legs. Punched a hole through the top of it so I could throw the pipe down that I had the burner in, and insulate it with some KO wool. Did pretty good. My only concern was that after about 5-10 minutes that I actually ran the thing, this was getting to be pretty hot on the outside, and I was kind of concerned that it might end up melting. So I took care of that today with this here. This is a piece of about 1/4 inch thick walled, or maybe a little wider than that, pipe that I found. Actually was 2 pieces of pipe that somebody had welded together along these seams. These are not my beautiful works of art here. That's the way I found it. And so what I did was I had a friend of mine help me out, and he torched the hole through the top, welded that on because I don't have a welder, nor do I have a oxyacetylene torch, but that's changing here in the very near future. Drilled some holes, tapped them, put my burner in through the top, and I've got about 1.5 inches of KO wool. The first piece of KO wool was actually a 2-inch piece, and I was going to line that with some high temperature mortar, and as I was doing that, it compressed the KO wool, so I went ahead and used that wet mortar to help stick this second piece of KO wool inside it. And right now I just got the back of it closed off with a couple of fire bricks that I had mortared together while I was looking at building the fire brick forge. And I'm thinking about going ahead and bringing this back to my buddy and having him weld a latch with a piece of plate steel to fold down here, and just another piece of KO wool to go in front of it. So this will be on a hinge on that piece of steel, and maybe some on the back too, just to help close that off. So that's the new one. I'm waiting for things to dry. I fired it up just for a second to see how it worked, and yep, propane still burns inside of a small container, so it does the trick. Let's see what we got to stick in there pretty soon. I've got a couple of planer blades that a friend of mine gave me, and so I had my buddy weld those onto a stick. One of these days I'll learn to weld and save myself the trouble of calling him up all the time. So these I'm going to fold, heat these up, and forge weld these into a billet and make a knife out of that. I got the some files that I annealed the other day, or that I started annealing the other day. I'll probably throw this one in again, heat it up, let it cool, to soften up. Got 2 more here that I was playing with. These ones look like they're probably pretty good. They sound, they certainly sound different now once they've been softened up a little bit. And let's see what else we got in the scrap pile. Another chunk of a couple different steels. I got a high carbon steel in the center, sandwiched between some a little more mild steel, and we'll forge weld that together. A couple more files, a railroad spike, a couple other miscellaneous pieces of steel here and there. These are actually some old saw blades, and I'm thinking about doing maybe some kitchen knives out of these. they're a pretty decent thickness for some kitchen knives, and I think they might do pretty good. I've got about 4 of these laying around, so that should keep me busy for a while. Along with that, down here in the mess, I don't know if you can take a look and see what that is. That is 2-inch logging cable, and I also have some 1-inch, maybe slightly larger chokers also. So got those for free. Can't beat free. We'll try forge welding those into a billet. That's hopefully going to happen here real soon. I'm looking forward to trying some of the cable Damascus. I got a couple people who are waiting to see what I can do with it, and one friend of mine has already placed an order, and he's waiting for me to price it out for him. So we'll play with that. Still trying to get this thing squared away. Waiting on my buddy to get that motor for me. Again, he thinks he found a 3-horse out of an old table saw, so I'm hoping he'll get that taken care of. I'm not really sure what's going on with this thing. I'm having some issues with it. First of all, I can't figure out what it is that either I'm missing or what it is that I'm putting in the wrong spot. But there's something going on with the attachment for this tracking wheel. Well, hell, let's take a look at it and see what I got going on here. Hold on. Okay, so what I have here, I've got the nut that this came with. Obviously, it's not tight because as soon as I try and tighten this down, the wheel doesn't turn anymore, and the belt just slides over the top of it. I've got 2 washers here on this side just because this is the best thing I found to make this spin. But as you can see, it's kind of scuffing up my wheel, and I really don't know what's going on here. So this is just held on with a large bolt that goes through the other side. From what I've seen, everybody else's videos that has this type of grinder, they all have a washer in between there and the wheel. So I don't know what's going on. See if we can get this in a little better light. You can see it's tearing this up, and you know, $80, $70-$80 chunk of aluminum. I don't want to mess it up. So if you have any ideas, let me know. So anywho, that's the new forge. That's the old forge. That was going to be a forge. I think there's another was going to be a forge laying around here somewhere. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to move this thing outside tomorrow, fire it up, and see what we can do. So, Chevy Dad 83, have a good night. I'm going to go feed some kids. I got some hungry kids inside. They want some dinner. So, have a good night. Talk to you guys later. Peace.